Excellency Dr. Zainab Shinkafi Bagudu, the First Lady of Kebbi State, is also here. She is represented by Haji Zara Wali, the SA to Mr. Governor on Women Development in Kebbi State. Can we applaud her? We thank you very much, ma'am. I already spotted the Senior Special Assistant to Mr. President on Sustainable Development Goals, a former Deputy Governor of Lagos State. Please can we applaud Her Excellency Princess Adejoke Orelokwe Adefulire. Thank you very much, Ma, for being here. I'd also like to let us know that the wife of the Head of Service of Lagos State is here with us, Mrs. Marie Kola. We thank you, Ma. The wife of the Chief of Staff is also here with us, Mrs. Tayo Ayinde. We thank you very much for being here. We appreciate your presence. And I'd like to let us know that we have more representatives coming in from Conference 57. The First Lady, the wife of the Deputy Governor, we thank you all very much. The wife of the ably represented and the Chairman of Session. Thank you. At this point in time, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to the next paper, and the next lecture is on the losses and gains, is on the women in leadership and its relevance to national development. Once again, that all-important lecture is Women in Leadership and its relevance to national development. There is no better person to chair that session than a woman who has at various times occupied various ministries in Lagos State. She is presently the Honorable Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture in Lagos State. Please can you applaud as I invite up on stage Pharmacist Mrs. Uzamat Akibile Yusuf. Please can we applaud her? Arts and Culture in Lagos State. We are the mothers of the land. We will build. We don't have. Another round of applause for her, please, as she takes her seat. At this point, I will hand over this session to Honorable Pharmacist Uzamat Akimbili Yusuf.
Good morning, everyone. Her Excellency Man of Council and our co-convener, Mrs. Oluremi Amzat. Kindly permit me to stand on a well-established protocol. The topic we are going to be listening to now is women in leadership and its relevance to national development. And the person that will be taking us through that presentation is no other person than Nkiru Olumide Ojo. Kindly applause as she's coming up.
Nkiru Olumide Ojo holds over 2 decades of experience as a senior corporate executive, looking after the reputation of multinational and national brands in Africa. Her network experience spans across various sectors, including financial services, aviation, telecommunications, and the oil and gas sectors. She currently works in a financial services group in South Africa, and her work scope covers 7 African countries. Founder of the Lighthouse Network, a social impact agency found youth. Nkiru and her team go to underserved schools to help upskill youths on and in 2020 alone, impacted over 2,000 youths in this regard. She also provides structured mentorship for young working girls throughout that network. A frequent conference speaker, Forbes African Women's Summit, the London Advertising Week, Africa Public Relations Conference, and Standard Bank's Blue Hills Women's Program. Top women in marketing, communications, and many other accolades. University of South Africa, and University children represent Nkiri Olumide.
Thank you, NC. That is the recitation of our speaker this morning, and I believe what she is going to be discussing with us is going to be thought-provoking, so we will need your attention when we are talking about the women in leadership and its relevance to national development. I believe we women sitting down here, we are as important as anything. So by listening attentively to her, she's going to take us through some other things that we need to know for our own function to develop our country as a woman. So please, we need your kind attention as I'll be inviting Mrs. Nkiri Olumide Ojo to the podium.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Her Excellency, the First Lady of Lagos State, Dr. Sanwo-Olu, Her Excellency, the wife of the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, I'd like to recognize all the First Ladies here present, executive members of Council, ladies and gentlemen, elder statespersons, permit me to stand on existing protocols. It's a true pleasure and honor to be here, and I've been given the honor to speak on women in leadership and the relevance on national development. It is my hope that at the end of the session, each woman here, each mother, each daughter, each auntie will awake and understand that our time is now. Ladies, can you say to the next person, our time is now? Thank you very much. I have taken the liberty to break this discussion into 4 parts. The first is where we are as women. The second is the issues of us being available but somehow being precluded. I will touch on what holds us back as women. And lastly, I would highlight the contributions that we bring. In the hall today and online are many amazing women who are running public and private sector organizations. They're running businesses, women that are in charge of operations, women, as we say, that are securing the bag. I mean, I grew up in Port Harcourt in the south of Nigeria. And so when I came to Lagos, it was very astounding to me when I would go to the market to find that there was an Iyaloja. Where I come from in Port Harcourt and all of the southeast, we usually have Baba Oja. So I think it was very enamoring to me. Can we please give Lagos State a round of applause? So I think that the type of question we should ask ourselves is, how is it that with all of these well-established women who are educated, women who are well-exposed, how is it that we have so many research that shows that women are still missing in places where decisions are being taken? How is it that women are missing on the tables where decisions are being taken? I know that there has been lots of research, just so that it's not hearsay, just so that it's not a doctor. We have had research that shows that when you have women on your board, that your board puts a more improved output than when you have only men. So why are we then suffering, all of these things? Why are there still less representation for women? is it that a Q and another man do the same job, but the man will end better? Look, I think that these are the questions, we should ask ourselves. And in asking ourselves, I feel like it's so important that we do an inner search before we speak about externals. You'll agree with me that it's always so easy to pick fault at other people than it is to do a self-check of yourself. The first thing that I'd like to say is I find that there's a lack of representation. Many years ago, we had the corporates I worked for here in Nigeria at the time of the organization. I said to the class, what would you like to be? No prizes for guessing, that all the boys raised up their hands and they wanted to be governors, presidents, and all the girls, didn't want to be those things. They wanted to be other things. Why do you say that? I say because representation is important. If you see many Elon Musk in your community, you would grow up wanting to be Elon Musk. If you see many female governors in your community, you will grow up wanting to be a governor. One of the things I also find that precludes us is a lack of clarity. I think in a little way, and I have just mentioned this. Now, for some reason, it often takes us so much longer in articulating what it is that we want to do. Sometimes it takes us even so much longer to know exactly what it is that we want. The elder state lady who spoke before says we must learn to ask. And when we ask, we should be specific about asking. If you walked in here and you said to us, what do you want? Sometimes, if I just said, address the comments that the lady made earlier, the elder state lady, I beg your pardon, made earlier, let us be clear about what it is that you want. Women, we must have strategies. Whatever it is your objective is, you must have a strategy. I want to be the president, what must I do? I don't just want to be a president and arrive there. You would know if you are in politics that it doesn't work like that. So I challenge us today that we must have a strategy. Look, I think that, going external is that one of the most obvious challenges is that, most of the people in this decision-making rooms, are also men. I remember reading a book where a woman said that even the parking that she was given, the parking slot that she was given was so far away. And when she was pregnant, it was fine when she wasn't pregnant. But when she became pregnant, she found that it was quite a long distance to walk. Why do I tell the story? I tell the story because when we have many more female architects, then somebody in that design room is going to be saying, let me design something so that if Nkiri is pregnant with her third baby, she doesn't have to walk a long distance. Ladies, do you agree? Now, another reason what I think includes us is the consistent comments around sponsorship and mentorship. I believe that a platform like this should be celebrated because what it does is provide us room to be able to glean from the others. Men don't just mentor, they also sponsor. You find a man who gets up and says, Nkiri is my candidate. Until she makes it into the government house, I am not going to rest. Women, I would like to challenge us today. Mentorship is so critical, but sponsorship is even more critical. I would like to encourage us today. Yes, you can clap if you want to. I would like to encourage us today. Everywhere that you are is a destination for someone else. Find someone who's coming behind you, who you can say, this is the way. Don't put your leg there. Don't talk like this. Don't shout. If I had that guidance, I believe strongly that I could have done so much better in my career. I think that one of the things, every time I go to an event and they would say, I would like to recognize Philomena James as the only woman on the board. I'm thinking, I'm not going to clap. What is she doing that she's the only one on the board? Ladies, I would like to reiterate that your seat on the table is not complete until there are more women. Things I also get often that precludes us from making advancements, and I know that you've heard it before, they say that women are more emotional. They will say she's crying. I remember sometimes I'll come home to my husband and I will say, you know, honey, I think my boss doesn't like me. He will laugh. He will say, you mean all the problems in this Lagos that your boss has, you think he's you. He's not your problem. Put your emotions in check and get on with the work. So ladies, I want to say to us, let us learn to put our emotions in check so that we can take hard decisions. I have spent a bit of time, talking about what it is that precludes us from making advancements in ourselves and internal. There are a few other external factors. I will not sit here today and tell you that everything that precludes us from making advancement is external. A lot of it is internal, I beg your pardon. A lot of it is also external. And how is it external? I find with men, and I don't know whether it's the alcohol or it's the football, but men already know how to create camaraderie amongst themselves. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if it's the Chelsea or it's the Arsenal that is constantly losing, I beg your pardon, that they're discussing. Okay, I'm so sorry now, That is what causes them to, that is my children will kill me, they're also Arsenal fans, that what causes them to have the camaraderie. I find women who get into places, very little but very important. A woman will walk into the salon and she will just sit down and start doing her hair. A man walks into the salon. I think in his mind he's thinking, who knows whether Dr. Sanwo-Olu is sitting here? Who knows if she's the one under the dryer? Please let me just greet. Good afternoon, is everybody okay? Because he's thinking already in terms of the outcome and the outputs that he requires. I tell this story to say to us that we've got to be strategic. We've got to be strategic, we've got to be deliberate. The last thing I'd like to say on this piece is many years ago, I read in my devotion that there was a man who was standing and he was guarding a land, and someone said to him, why are you guarding this land? He says, I don't know, I've been guarding this land for 100 years. So another person came and said, but somebody explained to me why they are guarding the land. They started running around, investigating, running around. It turns out that one day the queen of the city was passing and she had said, I like this piece of land, and everybody ran to protect it. And over the years, they just kept deploying guards and no one knew why they were deploying guards. Why do I tell this story? I tell this story to say that each one of us must understand our why. We must understand our why. My children say to me, Mama, there's a lot of women empowerment, women, what's the problem? So I said, you know what, you're very important, my sons, but understand that what we're trying to do is to fix an anomaly. So when people say to you, why, don't be ashamed. Chimamanda Adichie says to us, we should all be feminists. As long as feminism means that we are struggling for equity on the table, then please turn around to your colleague and say we should all be feminists. I also hear women say that, there's a lot of tokenism going on. To be fair, I think that the anomaly that we deal with can only be fixed by a quota system. That is the only way that these things will be fixed. That means that if you are the chairman of the board, you would say, we must have 50% men, 50% women, or we don't have a board. In all of the 54 countries on the continent, Rwanda is the only one that has been able to achieve this on the continent. They're the ones who have equity in terms of the people who are running the country. So I'd like to challenge us today to take responsibility for that. I thought of what it is that women contribute to national development, and I had listed a lot of things. But I think that the first thing that we contribute to national development is primary access. You know that when your baby comes out from the womb, they actually hand the baby over to you to put on your body. What they are doing is having primary access, and that access carries on with the breastfeeding. That access carries on with the interactions. Why do I say this? I say this to say to you that our first contribution to national development is raising governors, raising presidents, raising board chairmen, raising first ladies, raising Nkiru, raising your children. That is a powerful, powerful task. Powerful, powerful task. I was reading the Bible, and I noticed that everywhere they mention the king, they mention the mother of the king. And I asked myself, why is this important? And I realized it's important for them to understand where the influence and the scope of the influence is. So our first contribution to national development is the access we have to influence. And And because leadership is influence, we are the first people to raise leaders. So I don't want us to ever forget that, because I think that sometimes when people say nurturing leaders, look, I think that it's important, before I leave this page, to make a quote from the UN Watch Organization. It says, rural women play a key role in supporting their household and communities in achieving food and nutrition security, generating income and improving rural livelihoods over every well-being.
One area or the other, even if you're a housewife, you are a leader. Who are you leading? How are you leading those people that you are leading? It's very, very critical, and it's important that we lead everyone around us. Not until you become the first lady that you become a leader. Not when you become the local government chairman, you become a leader. We are all leaders as a woman. We lead the society. So we want to encourage ourselves and ask ourselves, how am I leading? Am I leading to develop our nation? Am I leading to destroy the nation? It is a question that we need to answer ourselves. I think that is going to be my own little contribution. So I will call on our translator to please do justice to the message.
Eko atotonu látàárọ̀. Ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tí ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ fún wa òun ni àkórí rẹ̀ jẹ́ ipò aṣíwájú àwa obìnrin àti ipa tí à ń kó nípa ìdàgbàsókè orílẹ̀-èdè. Wọ́n ní ó ṣe jẹ́ pé tí. To please join in expressing our appreciation to the facilitator and the chairman of session. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
I appreciate you. And at this moment, I'd also like to quickly recognize and crave your indulgence to please applaud very resoundingly the First Lady of Osun State and Chairman Southern Governors' Wives Forum. Please can we applaud Her Excellency, Mrs. Kafayat Olaiton Oyetola. You're very welcome, Ma. We thank you very much for being here. We thank you. And indeed, we appreciate your presence. I'd like to let us know that the delegates from Osun State are also here. Delegates from Ogun State. Thank you, Osun State. We acknowledge you. Osun State, thank you. Ogun State delegates, where are you? Can we please applaud them? Ogun State delegates. Kwara State delegates, please, can you please stand up for recognition where you are? We'll say a big thank you to all the First Ladies, the First Lady of Lagos State and Chairman of CALSA, the wife of the Deputy Governor, the First Lady of Ogun State, Her Excellency Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, First Lady Ekiti State, First Lady Kwara State, First Lady Ogun State, Osun State, Ondo State, and of course the wife of the Speaker, House of Representatives, and all of the dignitaries of the high table. We appreciate your presence, and we say a big thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all work and no play, they say, makes Jack the door boy. All talks and no exercise will probably make us feel very unhealthy. At this point in time, just like we had yesterday, we had a session that was very interesting. We had the opportunity of moving our lips and dancing to some music while shedding some weight. And that was courtesy of the Lagos State Hospital Service Commission. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to invite one more time the physiotherapist from the Lagos State Hospital Service Commission to take us through another session of warm-up for another 10 minutes. For those of you who missed the session yesterday, I can assure you that it will be a session to remember.
And it doesn't align with your shoulder, then you know you are not in a good posture. So can we try that out, please? An imaginary line from your ears to your shoulders. Draw it down, it has to align. So while we are using our phones, and we are like this, draw an imaginary line, and you notice that it doesn't fall in place, then we get into posture. A lot of people think physiotherapy is about massage. No, physiotherapy is actually a healthcare profession that deals with the preservation, the promotion, the restoration of optimal physical function through our life. That means we are there from the cradle until you grow beautifully. So today, we are here to make you move those joints. I was down there yesterday, and there was this mommy that was digging it. She was just giving us a freestyle. And I was like, mommy, we have to do this together. And I had to tell myself, mommy, I'm the teacher here. You cannot beat me to this. But any which way we want to do it, whether you can give us first steps, like KSC, that are... All right.
Thank you very much, ma'am. All right, please, let's be on our feet. Let's be in a comfortable space. If the chairs are disturbing us, let's put the chairs together so we have a comfortable space to do our exercises. So remember yesterday, I taught us breathing exercises, that when you're breathing in, you breathe in through your nose, and when you're breathing out, you breathe out through your mouth. Relax your shoulders, take it slow, don't rush it. Okay, can we do that again now? Let's see if we remember. Breathe in and out. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Just to just feel relaxed. Thank you very much. Alright, so we're going to start with some warm-ups. Let's warm up our joints. We've been sitting down for a while now. So we need to warm up our joints. Let's start with the legs. Marching on 4. Let's go. And 1. And 2. And 3. Now let's kick. 1, 2. Thank you. Hands on the waist. Put your legs. Yes. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Now hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To the side. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you. And the other side. Let's go. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Relax. Moving. Side to side. Now we're going to start stretching all the way from the neck down. Are we ready? All right. Just move side to side. Okay, we're starting with the neck bend. So I'm bending my right hand to my left. Let's go. 1, 2, both ways. Thank you. 3, side stretch. 4. Now we rotate. 1, neck rotation. 2, 3, and 4. Now slowly left go. Just go slowly.
Feeling like breath.
And 2.
Like Moses parted the Red Sea, like the chauffeur me in the back.
Now the other way. 1.
Wet, steam, what you want? Rotate, champagne, fuck that. Big back pain, taking the pick. The only time
Now, shoulder, roll hand on the shoulder. Roll forward 4 times and roll backward 4 times. Are you ready? 1, 2, ready, 2, 4, 3, and 4. Backward. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again forward. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Thank you. Hands up. Now go outside. And 1. Bring it back. And 2. Thank you. And 3. And 4. Now the other hand. And 4. Yes. And 2. Let's go. And 3. And 4. Let's do this again. 1. And 3. Last time. And 4. Thank you. Let's do it now. And out. One more time. Ready? Thank you. Relax your shoulders. And out. Alright. Let's go. Shoulders. Let's go. Thank you. And more. Shoulder shrug. Now, let me teach you a movement. So, 1, chest, other place, and chest. Let's go. While you're moving your hips, move your waist. Yeah. Now, this is for our back. For your back extension. 1. Now, take it to the side. And 1. Thank you. And 2. And 2. The other side. And 2. Let's go. Down to our neck. This is good for neck pain. These are called chin squats. If you have neck pain, you can do this mobilize your neck. Alright. Let's go. Now our dance again. And chest. And down. And chest. Look at this. Let's go. Thank you. And chest. Yes. And down. And chest. And down. And chest. And down. And chest. And down. Now our legs. Yes. Thank you. Yes, match. I match. Yes. Hands here. Thank you. Thank you. Let's bring it. And out. Breathe. And out. One more time. And in. And out. Now this is dedicated to all the great women out there. Are we ready? Let's go. Hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So legs. 5, 6, 7. Thank you. I'm saying all step back. Let's go. 4. Thank you. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Watch this. 1, 2. Side, 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 side. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And forward, and forward, and forward. Move those waist. Let's go. Thank you. Alright. Breathe in. And out. Keep moving. Don't stop. Breathe in. Keep moving. And out. And in. Out. Last time. And in. And out. Alright. So taking it to the higher now. That's why I said us to breathe well. So do it some legs. Are you ready? Slow down. 1, 2, and 4. And 2, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, and 11, and 12, and 13, and 14. Leg. sidewalks. Now, 1, 2, 3, clap. 1, 2, 3, clap. 1, 2, 3, clap. Let's go. 1, and clap. And clap. And clap. Thank you. Let's go back to the side. 1, 2, 3, and clap. 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 Now, thank you. Thank you. Side to side. Hand 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 side. Thank you. Okay. We're wrapping up. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoulders circumduction. Let's go. Thank you. Take it around and down. 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 Now what is this? Take it off and go. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. The last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Let's go. Thank you. Let's go. Let's go. Take it out. Take it out. We're cooling down now. We're cooling down. We're cooling down. Okay. Let's go. Just take it slow. But after every exercise, we need to cool down and then we end it. Okay? Side step 2 times. 1. See how gentle this is? Just take it slow. Don't exhale. While you're doing it, just be breathing. Thank you. Side and side. 1. Thank you. Thank you. You can hold your clothes. Now let's go round. Let's go round. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go round. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you. Take it forward. Thank you. And take it backward. Thank you. Now take your fingers. Take it sideways. Take it upward. Bring it down. And take it up all the way up till you can reach this ceiling. Let's go. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Please, I believe they deserve another round of applause. Did you enjoy this session? So when the committee of Wives of Lagos State officials said that this year's for the Committee of Wives of Lagos State officials. A big thank you to the Lagos State Hospital Service Commission, the physiotherapists. We appreciate you. We had them yesterday. We have them today. I want to believe that as we go through this National Women's Conference, this is part of what we will take home at the end of the conference. We can do this at home as well. It's part of the message to be awake. And I'm sure we're wide awake now. Are we awake? Women, are we awake? Indeed, I'd like to say that we're awake.
Or how we can harness the gains and be prepared for uncertainty. Before, proactive is the word. Proactive, we didn't wait for something to happen before responding. And the incident command system was launched over a month before we actually got our first case. And thereafter, please can we have the slides projected? Thank you. Now, and we established and trained the response team prior to first case. We engaged partners, private sector, and the community with the Ministry of Health in the lead. We increased installed testing capacity. We managed cases through containment. At the beginning, everybody that had COVID had to go into an isolation center. And I'm sure we saw videos of people dancing in the isolation centers and alleging that maybe they were just being kept there because the government was going to harness some resources from their being in containment. Who was ill, we looked for who they had been in contact with, and we tried to also isolate them. And of course, we had the lockdown. Now, the lockdown had its effects, which are still on till today. Economically, the state and a lot of the country is also very dependent on daily bread, daily living, and that was affected with the lockdown. And like I had mentioned before, we incorporated home-based care, meaning if you have COVID, you've tested positive for COVID, but you are not sick, because a lot of people are not sick. And this is just a rehash, launch of incident command system with Mr. Governor as the incident commander and Honorable Commissioner for Health as the Deputy Incident Commander. We created the Emergency Operations Center with the proper structure, mix of different individuals. It required different skill sets. A lot of what people saw was like a tenth of what was actually going on towards the response in Lagos. And then the mainland hospital in Yaba, which is also an infectious disease center, started receiving an upgrade before the system, before the first case. And we had, luckily for us, we had a BSL-3 lab, level 3 lab in
What do you have to say about today's program?
Well, this is a national conference from the Committee of Wives of Lagos State officials. As we all are aware, we gather together to brainstorm on the challenges facing the nation and propose solutions to some of these challenges that have been highlighted. Like the session which I shared is about the role of women in leadership in nation development. What does it tell us? That because women have a crucial role in nation development, and one of the roles that we have as a parent, as a mother, is to ensure that we have the best of all children that can take the mantle and develop the nation better. Everybody have a community, and we shouldn't leave. Every woman is a leader in one way or the other. Even if you are a housewife, you must be able to take the role of leadership within the children, within the household you belong. So those are the things that will give us a better national development. My advice for women: we should live up to the responsibility. We should all be awake by now. It should speak to our consciousness that the nation needs us now than ever before, and we should live up to that responsibility at all times. Uzama Takimbile Yusuf, Commissioner for Tourism, Art and Culture.
When will my children be vaccinated? And I want to ask the government to improve on telling people about the importance of this vaccination. I had to explain to some of my friends who have not done it, because of these gimmicks going around on social media. I tried to explain to them that maybe the government should please improve on enlightening people why they should be vaccinated. Because so many people out there are not vaccinated. They still think it is something from the moon that will go tomorrow. That this is just like I told my friends and my colleagues, that this is just like the measles and the polio, that people should go out there and get vaccinated. Thank you. Especially for the children. When will they be vaccinated? Thank you.
I'm sure we're all aware that the level of vaccines that we have in the country is not as much as we would like. But then I have good news. We have received a lot more vaccines. And as I speak, I'm aware that the health team, with Mr. Governor, of course, is launching or flagging off a more intensive vaccination drive, which will start later this week or early next week, up until Christmas Eve. And what that involves is a lot more centers now, because you had complained about how easy or how difficult it was. A lot more centers are going to be uploaded, including private hospitals. So for those who may want to just pay quickly getting...
My name is Jibike Onigbanjo. I'm a Deputy General Manager with the Lagos State Development and Property Corporation.
What is your take-home?
This year's council's theme is Awake. And really, in the light of what has happened in the last year or so, the COVID pandemic and all whatnot, it is definitely the best time to have this theme, that we all should be awake to the happenings around us. Women especially as the bedrock of the family, of the society at large. We are the ones who are nurturing the human capacity that are leading the world. So we women should awaken to all that is happening around us. Leadership, parenting, training our children, training the girl child, being given equal opportunities. That we need to awaken those strengths that God has deposited in us in order for us to build the very best society that we can, and we believe we can do it.
What can you say about the convenance of this conference? What can you say about
Dr. Mrs. Claudiana Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu. Since yesterday, we've had Dr. Tony Rapu, we've had Kiro Lumide Ojo today, we've had Aunt Landa, the sexual abuse campaigner. So these are practical things that are happening. She's been able to gather all the speakers to bring it home, to let us realize how close these problems are around us, and that we should awaken.
To listen to another facilitator talk on women in politics. The power of joining forces enable transformation.
Good afternoon. My name is Monsuat Oluwatosin Balogun, Vice Chairman, Lagos Island is LCD.
what is your take from this conference?
I don't even know how to describe it, especially today's lecture. Continue like on, it will continue.
What can you say about the convenance of this event, of this conference?
I've attended so many, at least 8 of the council. I think this is one of the best because it was more focused on women. And for the very first time, we had elites, we had people that knew what they were.
This is Mrs. Rashida Olare.
Oh, okay. I hear say that you're one of the participants here.
Yes, I am.
Yes. Okay. We were told in a lecture from one woman the other time. She was talking about feminism. So I have a question concerning that. Okay, as a feminist that people claims to be, like, did you actually, can you enlighten us more on being or be in charge as a woman? Then you should be submissive as a wife and being a nice mother. Can you actually expatiate on that, ma?
Okay. Feminism to some people would mean being bossy, but the actual meaning of feminism is taking charge, is being in charge, but without being aggressive.
Okay.
You can be in charge, you can be a leader, and you can be a boss. As a leader, a woman should be a leader and not a boss. You carry your people along, you seek for ideas, you seek for their opinion. That to me is feminism. You carry them along, you want the best for them.
Production. So, hello, Mom Spicy from Highlander TV. Your name, ma?
Hello, my name is Bimbo Dumbaku, Chairperson of Ojodu LCDA.
Oh wow, nice to see you. You look beautiful, actually.
Thank you.
Yes, so at this 21st annual conference of council, what did you have to say for all this previous program they've been having? What is it that is actually, that's changed in the previous one comparing to in this new one comparing to the previous one that they've had?
Okay, yeah, in the previous ones I think I was able to attend like 3 or 4. Would you call some of these?
Yes.
Okay, so in this present 21st NWC conference, the first thing they did was we had to apply online. It was mostly for techie women. The First Lady wanted all women to know you need to be educated to move ahead in this life we are in now. Yes.
Thank you so very much for having a moment with me. I love you.
Thank you. Love you too.
Yeah, bye, ma.
That is still in charge or not. And now that I passed the test, then I can you imagine? So you must learn how to respect, to keep your home. And that's simple ideology. After that, we have another one. When I became commissioner, I ensured that that's 8 million. And I created also that women must be
Well done. Keep the applause coming, please. Thank you. Interpretation.
Miss Spicy from Highlander TV, your name, ma?
Good afternoon. My name is Toke Benson Awoyinka.
Mommy, you look so great.
Thank you.
Yes, ma. So I have a few questions to ask you, so I'm going to make it so short. Firstly, what's your take concerning this program?
Well, it's a very educative program. It's bringing women together. This is done, Toke Benson Awoyinka, I'm the special advisor to the governor on housing. So it's a good opportunity for women to come together, speak about the issues that affect us, from lifestyle to health, to politics, to everything that affects us and affects our nation. So it's a very, very educative session. We've had a beautiful time since yesterday.
Yes, ma, thank you so very much. From the feminism word, how can we balance the feminist thing apart from being a wife, a good wife, a submissive wife, and a mother to the community, like a good leader, someone that our girls' church should be looking forward up to? Because I have this motive concerning being a feminist, like most of them are not submissive, like they have the...
We just had the former Deputy Governor, Princess Orelekpe, speak to us about. It's a combination of both, and women, for some reason, we are made that way. We're adaptable, and we know how to manage the home front, the office, and the wifely duties. So I encourage every woman, it doesn't take anything out of us, making sure that we don't leave one to the other, making sure that we have a scale of balance where we put everything that we do. Because it takes a woman to raise a child, it takes a woman to raise a nation, it takes a woman to build a nation. So we're multidimensional. Our expectations are huge. What is expected of the woman is not expected of the man. So we have to work 200% more to show that we can do what men would ordinarily do. So as a woman, I stand with every other woman that yes, we can.
Yes, thank you so very much concerning that. There is this particular thing that we have in our political sector, and if that problem is yet to be, to fill out, what would that be? What would you like to fix?
Affirmative action. Okay, so the former Deputy Governor again spoke about it, how women are being marginalized. Women are being marginalized because we don't have what it takes when we get to the open field to fight. Where there's violence, women run away. So we want there to be a level playing field. As you can see, in the government of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, we have 13 women, 13 beautiful and brilliant women in the cabinet, and you can see, if you follow us all, you will see that we're making our strides in each of our ministries and departments. And so that affirmative action is what we're asking for. At the National Assembly, we have 24 members, all men, no women. That doesn't look well for a progressive city like Lagos. In the House of Assembly in Lagos, there's about 40 of them too. They have only about 3 to 4 women. It doesn't look good. So if you take a picture of all men, it's boring. So like life, it has to be beautiful. So we need more women in more places, in politics especially. Politics is not for the faint-hearted, I'm sure you know that. But I know that we can adapt, we're adaptable. We can do it, and yes, we can, and we will do it. We will push for it. There's legislation around it already. We want that 35%, and she's even actually saying we should raise it to 50%. So we're going to start with the 35%, and we're going to push hard to make sure that we get it.
Thank you so very much for that brilliant idea you've shared. We love you so very much, and keep doing the good job, ma. All right, may I know your name?
My name is Dr. Olayemi Sanwo-Olu.
Yes, ma, you look so absolutely great.
Thank you very much.
Yes, as a woman that you are. And we are here at the 21st annual conference of Awake, Teamed Awake also. Yes, what have you been able to put together as far as this program has come in?
Well, CALSO is a yearly program organized by the Office of the First Lady, and I believe that I've been attending since 2009, and it's been a very enlightening period for myself and a lot of people that attend on a yearly basis. For this year, the theme, as you have said, is awake, and the First Lady wants us to be awake to a lot of things, awake to our responsibilities as mothers, as the elders and the people that hold the community together. We have had a lot of resource persons who have said a lot of things bordering on different topics, and so it all boils down to our economy, our role as mothers, our role as homemakers, our role as women who should be alive and awake to political dispensation, to hold political offices, so that we can also be able to influence what is going on in our community, contribute our own quota. So she wants us to be awake. The First Lady, Dr. Mrs. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, wants women to be awake. Can I say it in Yoruba language? She wants us to soji, Gaji Kamasu. Do you understand? Like, we should be alive. We should wake up, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. No matter how little you think you're doing, no matter how little you think you have, you can multiply them if you're awake. You can become better, network with different women. It's a forum, as you can see here, there are different people from different walks of life. We're all talking, we're all, it's a time to, yes, so she wants us to be alive, and awake to our responsibilities.
Right. Thank you, ma. If you are given one particular chance, a chance to be part of the political cabinet, like a sector, what would you love to change in our political environment? What would you like to take if you are given a power today as a woman that we are fighting for 9 years? I hope
in what capacity?
Like a chairperson, like a senator, like an honorable. What would you love to change?
Well, to start with, I've held a political position before. I've been secretary of a local government, and I also aspire, for a higher office. And like you've just said, if I'm given an opportunity to hold any political office in whatever capacity, I would make sure that I put in my very best. I'm not saying that what is on ground right now is not, working. But say, for example, I made a minister, or is that what you mean, like a senator or something? Definitely I'm going there, not because of personal gains. I'll be going there, to make sure that they know that a woman is on ground. I'm going there not for myself, I'm going there not for my family or anything, but I'm going there to make sure that I put in my very best in any capacity that I can.
Not in education or
association
Financial means or anything.
It's not about finances. Forget about finances right now. We're talking the lives of millions of people. Yes, we're opportune to go outside the country from time to time. We see what obtains in other countries. We want to bring those things to our country. We want to make a difference. We want people to know that a woman is in power. That's why we're here. We're not here for fun fair alone. We're here to be trained and to make sure that whatever we learn here, we put into good use.
All right, we'll be looking forward to that, ma. Thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.